Hey guys, Mr. Gucci here, and this is your homework help video for homework 5.2 Lewis dot diagrams. Now, as I discussed in class, there are several ways you can go about doing this homework. I mean, the technique is the same, but it's kind of difficult to do a written drawing homework assignment virtually. So we got a few options for you. The first option is on your homework, you can click a box that you'd like to do a drawing in, and then you go to Insert, Drawing, New. And then you can do a drawing. And you can draw with your mouse. So for example, this is F2. So how do I do this? Well, first step is let's see, I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to click Scribble. This will allow me to draw. So I'm going to do F, okay, and F. And now, how many valence electrons does fluorine have? Well, I'm going to go back. I'm going to check the notes. Fluorine F has 7 valence electrons. So I'm going to go back to my worksheet. Okay. And I'm going to do 7 valence electrons. So 1, 2, going around top, right, bottom, left. That's 4. All right. 5, 6, 7. Okay, very good. All right, so here we go. Now, how many bonds is this atom going to form? Well, it's only going to form one because it only has one unpaired electron. The number of single electrons around the atom after you're done placing them in order, that's how many bonds it's going to make. All right, so now it's F2. So I have 2 of these. Well, here's the benefit of doing this in Google Draw. All right, I can highlight all this. All right, I can make it smaller as needed. So you can draw it big if you want and then make it smaller. And I can Control C, Control V, and now I can carefully just drag that over here, okay? Now careful, all right? Control C, Control V. If I accidentally click away, well now I gotta drag the F and all the individual things. It sucks, all right? Just Control Z to get out of it if you mess that up. So Control Copy, Control Paste, and while it's all still highlighted, grab it and drag it over here. Now, you need to connect the single unpaired dots. Every dot on one atom, every unpaired dot on one atom, like this guy here, must be paired to um, an unpaired dot on another atom, like this one over here. Okay, so you have to connect the dots, all right? I'm just going to go to the line making tool, and I'm going to connect those dots. There we go. Maybe not in yellow, though. Maybe in like blue. All right, cool. All right, so there we go. So I've connected the dots. I've shown my work here. Okay, so then I just save and close. Okay, and now maybe make it a little bit smaller and stuff. Okay, there we go. Making it smaller, making it smaller. Okay, now I have to clean this up. Now, these 2 fluorines connected to each other once. So here's how I would go about redrawing this. First of all, again, the benefit of doing this, you can do a lot of copying and pasting. I'm going to Control Copy. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to Control Paste, and now it's over here. If I double click it, I can reopen the drawing. Okay, so now I'm inside. So what you need to do for this is you need to clean this up. If 2 atoms are bonded together, then what you need to do is you need to actually bring them close together, and you need to replace the atoms that you connected with a single line. Okay, so I'm going to do a single line here. There we go. I'm going to make it a little bit thicker as well. Okay, that line represents the bond, the dots that you connected. It represents the dots and the connection. All right, now you can't have these guys right here interfering with this bond. So I'm going to grab these 2 dots and I'm going to pull them aside. Okay, pull them aside. So there we go. So this is one of the benefits of doing this work through the drawing function, is that you can do a lot of copying and pasting and rearranging. Save and close. That's it. This is the Lewis dot structure for F2. That is one way to do this, okay? Let me show you another way that you can do this. Another way you can do this is by opening up the attached Jamboard that I posted to all of your assignments, okay? And so Jamboard allows you just to draw in a little workspace, okay? In a little workspace right here. All right, cool. So you could do this work in a Jamboard. So this is P2. Okay, so let's see here. So P2. So I'm going to draw phosphorus. That's bad. Less bad. Phosphorus, P. Now, how many valence electrons does phosphorus have? I'm going to go back to my note and I'm going to check it out. All right, going back to my notes, I'm going to check it out. Where are you, notes? Here we are. So phosphorus, P, it has 5 outer or valence electrons. Well, take a look. I actually have this displayed available for you to look at right here. Phosphorus, this is what the phosphorus Lewis dot structure looks like right here. All right, P, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and they doubled up over there. All right, let me draw it for you over in this Jamboard. All right, let me draw it for you in this Jamboard. Okay, so the way I would draw it is I would do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then double up here. Put them close together. 5. All right. Now, the sample I showed you had 2 dots on the right and 1 dot on top. It doesn't matter. So long as you start on one side, you go around in order, you're going to be fine. Now, this was P2. This was P2. So I am going to draw another one. Can I highlight this? Can I highlight and copy? I cannot. So Jamboard's easier to draw, but you're not going to make it as easy on yourself for doing a lot of copying and pasting. I actually have to draw out 2 of these. Now I'm doing this with my mouse. This is a little bit trickier. If you have a touch screen, it becomes a lot easier. Okay, but not everyone has a touch screen. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you have to connect every single unbonded atom. This guy has 3. This guy has 3. Okay? Well, the best way to do this is to simply connect them. Here we go. All right, so I am going to connect this guy to that guy. I'm going to connect this guy over here to that guy. I'm going to connect this guy over here to that guy. Okay, so long as you're connecting each lone unpaired atom or electron to another unpaired electron on another atom, you're fine. One of the things you cannot do, you cannot connect 2 electrons on the same atom. You just can't do that. Okay, so here we go. All right. Everything is connected. Now we have to clean this up. Now here's how I would clean this up, okay? I got 2 P's here, okay? 2 phosphoruses. Now I ask you, how many connections did I make between these 2 phosphoruses? I made, okay? I made 1, 2, 3 connections between these phosphoruses. So I will down here make 1, 2, 3 connections between these phosphoruses. This is what we would call a triple bond. It is totally possible to connect 2 atoms more than once to each other. That is entirely possible, okay? Now, the last thing I have to do is that these guys both had some of these unpaired electrons on top. I just have to make sure that those get included in the picture as well. So I'm going to draw them right here. 1, 2. All right, 1, 2. Very good. Okay, so there we go. Even though the work was done bigger, here is the final answer down here. Okay, so Jamboard is another way that you can do this. All right, Jamboard is another way that you can do this activity. Okay, cool. And so, yeah, you could do your work on here. Now, the third way to do this, let's go back to the notes. Okay, back to the worksheet. Okay, the third way that you can do this is just on a separate sheet of paper. Right, just download, don't download some paper. No, just take out a piece of paper. All right, take out a piece of paper. So what I've done is I've just done this, opened up a blank doc. All right, so that's going to represent what I do here. And so you will just, problem number 3, which is, let me double check, pH3. Okay, pH3. So pH3. So I got to draw phosphorus. Now remember, pro tip, whichever atom can make the most bonds, you should put those in the middle. And we know phosphorus can form 1, 2, 3 bonds. So phosphorus should go in the middle of this. And then there's 3 hydrogens. So I'm going to draw a hydrogen here. I'm going to draw a hydrogen here. I'm just going to draw the hydrogens around it. Okay? And now I got to connect these dots. Now, the benefit of doing this handwritten on a sheet of paper, guys, is that you can just, just do it casually. Use a paper pencil, erase if you make a mistake, all right? You can use different colors if you want. Now I'm going to connect these dots, all right? So this guy clearly can go here, okay? Great. This guy looks like that can connect to that one, and this one can connect to that one, and there we go. There we go. Every single unpaired electron has been connected to another atom, okay? Another electron on another atom. So now I have to redraw this. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by redrawing this phosphorus, the middle, the most important atom, okay? Good. Now this phosphorus connected to a hydrogen on the left here. So I'm going to draw a hydrogen on the left, connected only once. This phosphorus connected to a hydrogen on the bottom. So I'm going to connect it to a hydrogen on the bottom. Then it also connected to a hydrogen on the right. So I'm going to connect it to a hydrogen on the right. And lastly, there were those unpaired electrons on top. I'm going to write those down as well. Those have to come along as well. And so this is it. This is the Lewis dot structure of PH3, phosphorus trihydride. Okay? So those are the three different ways that you can choose to do the work on this homework. You can insert an image into the Google Doc and work it up directly. All right, that's useful. You make it, copying and pasting is easy, but the box is kind of small. Okay, you could do it on the Jamboard. And by the way, for the Jamboard, you're like, oh, Mr. Gucci, I need another Jamboard page. Well, having another Jamboard page is as easy as just clicking to the right on this little arrow on top, and it makes a new one. All right. Oh, you need another one? It makes a new one. It makes a new one. It makes a new one. You can click here. You can take a look at all the Jamboards that you've done. Okay, take a look at all the Jamboards that you've done. All right, cool. All right, so yeah, so you can do the Jamboard and then you can draw them. So those are your three options for how to do this homework. And then I'm going to do the rest of the problems via my favorite personal option, writing it on a sheet of paper and then just showing you an image of it. Okay, so good luck.